I'm Megan with When Creativity Knocks, and I'm here with the lovely and legendary Miss Carol Duvall. How are you?
Well, I am fine, thank you. I don't remember being introduced as legendary.
Really?
Oh.
I don't know how you could not be. You were really one of the very first women who was sort of in the main media and the face of arts and crafts, really.
I guess so. I've been around that long.
Really well. And Carol had her very own show on HGTV. I'm sure we've all watched it. And I know I watched it growing up. And my mom was on it a few times.
She was almost a regular. She was a regular. Yes.
Carol has been around, as we said, for a while in this industry. And I want to know, what was it like for you to be sort of the pioneer and one of the first to begin that venture in introducing arts and crafts into the main media?
Well, my dear. First of all, let me tell you that when I started in television, there was no television, basically. I mean, the very first show that was ever done in all of Western Michigan, we didn't own a television set. When I'd leave the house in the morning, the family didn't know where the heck I was going or what I was going to do. This was when you had to go down to the hardware store and press your nose against the window to see television. Exactly, exactly. So as far as women in television, practically nobody was in television.
Right.
The one thing that was unique about what I did, besides the fact that I was a woman, was that I had never done radio or anything, because that's where most of the television people came from. They went from radio into television. And actually the crafting didn't come along for quite some time. I did a children's show when I first started. And we had what we called our doing day. One day a week, we would do things, we would make things. Now we would say we were crafting. Right. It wasn't even part of our vocabulary at the time, you know. So, and as far as being one of the first women in television and so forth, I wasn't aware of this special thing.
You didn't know what you were doing it when you were doing it.
No, when you're living it, you don't think about it. I do remember a name that you won't remember, and I'm sure your mother wouldn't either, a woman by the name of Pauline Fredericks. And she was the reporter for the UN. She's the only woman that I ever remember seeing or hearing from on network television. She was on, I don't know, CBS or NBC at that time, but it wasn't even thought about for women.
See, it's so crazy to me that you at the time had no idea the impact that you were about to make on this industry.
None.
And now and in turn, moving into your craft show, that was sort of like a natural progression for you since you came out of your other show doing that, you know, one day a week crafting. How did you get the ball rolling on having your very own show that was strictly dedicated to doing crafts and things that you could do yourself?
Well, that came as a direct result of having been on the home show, which is what I think you were referring to. Okay, so that was on ABC. And I didn't do anything to push it along. When I started, I never was looking for a career to begin with.
Really?
No. But when as things came along, as they did, once I did one thing, then somebody would see me and ask me, you know, I never went looking. So at any rate, I was on the ABC home show. They found me in Bear Lake, Michigan. The call came from a man who was second in charge of this new network show, who'd been an intern at a station that I had done some shows on back in Cleveland, Ohio. The head man of that show said, we need a craft person. I don't think he even knew what he meant, craft person. And this young man, who, as they say, had been an intern, said, I know somebody. Anyway, that's, you know, but you have to do what my ability was to say yes. Oh, sure, I'll give it a try.
Like, all right, why not?
At any rate, the host of that show, the home show, left it after 3 years, but he became head of his own production company. So when the home show went off the air, he said, I know a new network, it's about to start, HGTV. I think they need a craft show.
So now I know that one of the main goals of your show was education. And so education was really always one of the main focuses of the show, to educate and expose the greater community to how to do crafts. Maybe people who wouldn't necessarily have the means to come to a convention or take a class at a local craft store. And so now, with there being so few of those do-it-yourself type shows on television, I mean, how do you see the future of the industry moving and being able to continue to educate people?
Well, that is a big question with a lot of crafters, because you're absolutely right. That was the goal of our show. Two things. It was the goal of HGTV: to inform and entertain. And there were several craft shows on HGTV after a few years, and they had them on the Learning Channel, they had them on the Discovery Channel, and so forth. And now
they were everywhere.
No place. No, that's a big question, and I'm thinking it's going where you already are, the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know whether crafts will have a resurgence on television. I know they say everything goes like this.
Everything comes full circle.
I don't know. I have a feeling, because you're part of the younger generation. The younger generation is all about the internet. I'm willing to face that fact, but I don't like it.
Right.
I mean, I love my internet. I love my computer, but I want to see it on the big screen.
On the TV, where you can sit on the couch and watch it.
However, I think there are some electronic folks out there who are going to say to me, now wait a minute, there's already a way, and it's going to become more popular, to connect your computer to your
TV,
television
so you
set.
can continue
so
to
then
have
you'll
that.
have both.
Right.
How far that is in the future, when everybody knows about that and does it, I don't have a clue. But right now, it looks like basically things are headed to the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited to see the direction it goes, and I can only, keep my fingers crossed that we can continue to educate.
You are in the internet where I was on television back at the beginning. The one thing, you've got to be a really good teacher, because one of the things that we're getting used to, I think, from seeing a lot of the different craft segments, as well as any other kind on YouTube and places like that, is one of the things that I used to live by. Neatness counts. Pay attention to the details.
Right.
Sloppy is becoming accepted.
Oh, don't tell my mom that makes her day, because she's like a messy crafter. So she loves sloppy. She couldn't be more excited about it. Now, what do you feel like as a teacher and in education, what do you think is the most important lesson that you can instill in your students?
Enjoy what you're doing. I think that in crafting comes first.
Yeah.
If you don't enjoy what you're doing, and all you're thinking of is, I'm going to make a buck on this or something, you're defeating the whole purpose.
Right.
So enjoy it. And then the rest sort of comes.
The rest will be a natural progression.
Yeah.
Well, Carol, thank you so much for sitting down and speaking with me today. I really appreciate it. And tell me a little bit, real quickly before we go, what's life like now for you?
I couldn't be happier. My answer, I'm afraid, is always the same when people say to me right now, what are you doing? And I say, nothing, I guess, but it takes me all day to do it. And the days go by faster than ever. I'm enjoying them, but I couldn't really tell you what I'm doing.
I love it. I go, nothing. And isn't that the best answer you can have? What do you do all day? Nothing.
I do stare out the window a lot. I live on Lake Michigan, so I have a lot of beauty to look at.
I was going to say, well, you have all the beauty in the world to stare at, so you have a very pretty place to do a little bit of nothing. Well, Carol, thank you so much again, and thank you for all you've done for craft and putting it out into mass media and taking those first steps for us. And because we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Carol Duvall.
Believe me, it's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.